So this is a short tutorial that will get you started with the 3D content. Use your left mouse button to orbit the content like so. Use your right mouse button to pan the content around the screen. If you use your middle mouse button, your scroll wheel, that will zoom the content. And an alternative for those of you who are using a trackpad on their laptop is to hold the control key and then click and drag with your left mouse button. And that produces the same effect. If at any time you've lost your objects of interest or you just are in a bit of a funny position and things aren't working very well, you can hit the C key on your keyboard and that will return the objects of interest to the center. To get more information about an object that's on the screen, you use your left mouse button and click on it, and that brings up more information like so. To deselect an item, just click anywhere else in the blank bit of screen. Something you can do that after you've selected an object is to use the H key to hide it. So we can go around and hide different objects like this. And you'll see that those objects are no longer shown in the right menu either. To bring them all back, you can use the Show All button here, or you can also use the Alt and H key on your keyboard, and that will show all the hidden objects. In terms of the menu on the left, the top button will show us where we've got more 3D content available. So here we've actually got a separate scene that contains a close-up of the stifle joint. So this top button is used to access other scenes that are available. The test yourself mode is something that we cover in a separate video, but to go over it quickly here, it's a mode whereby instead of getting information about an object that you select, it actually lets you enter in what you think an object's going to be. So this should be the biceps femoris muscle. And you hit enter and that can check for you, and yes, it's gone green, so that's the correct selection. And again, you can hide that object and try the next one, and we'll just put something random in there, and that's shown us that yes, that's the incorrect answer. So you can either try that again or move on to something else. So to exit the test yourself mode, just click that button again and you're brought back into the main scene. This icon is to go full screen, so if you're using this content on the website, it starts off in a small window, and if you want to take it to the full screen, then you can use that to do so. This is a button that probably you're going to end up using quite rarely, but it switches your camera view from perspective to orthographic. So you can have a play with that and see how you like the feel of the content. In essence, perspective mode, which is the default, objects that are close to the camera appear bigger as they would in real life. Underneath that, we've got a help icon that you can use to get a link to watch this video again. And also we've put here all the keyboard and mouse shortcuts as well. Moving over to the right menu, we've got a search function. So here we can search, and it's got an interactive search. It will bring up relevant terms, and then we can select a term using either our keyboard or our mouse, and hitting enter will display just that simple object, that single object. We can bring the rest of them back again using the same show all menu here. Beneath the search bar, we have got a area that's unique to this project. So these are buttons that will allow you to sort the musculature by innervations, so femoral innervation, sciatic and obturator innervation. And beneath that we've got a list of all the objects that are in the scene, so again you can use this to go through and hide different objects individually. And again the show all or Alt H will bring those all back. You can hide all the objects and go and search for an individual object as well, of course. And then something new that we've added as well in this new user interface is the ability to switch between clinical terms and the anatomical Latin terms, so the nomina anatomica veterinaria. So where you see this switch available, you're able to switch between the clinical and Latin terms like so. At the moment the search only uses the clinical terms, but in the next update we will have access to both the Latin and the clinical terms. So I hope that's given you a good idea of how to use the content. If you've got any questions, never hesitate to get in contact with us or write us in the comments below. Thanks.